First, the top news headlines. Go to village is not for the BJP government, but the policy for the people, says N. Biren. Janjatiya Gaurav Divas observed today as a mark of respect for the tribal freedom fighters. And India reported 10,229 new coronavirus infections, 125 fresh fatalities in the last 24 hours. Hello, good evening and welcome. This is ELITETV and I'm your host HEMABATI bringing you the primetime English news bulletin. Before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOP given by the government. Wear face masks when out in public, wash hands regularly and maintain a minimum of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from this virus and play our part in the fight against COVID-19. Now the news in detail. Go to village is not for the BJP government, but the policy for the people, said Chief Minister of Manipur, Nongthombam Biren, during the program that was organized at Eco-Tourism Park, Salam Thongkong, Imphal West, as part of the Go to Village 2.0. Minister S. Rajen, Olukhoi, Deputy Speaker K. Robindro, Rajya Sabha MP Leshem Basana Jauba, Langthabal AC MLA Karam Sham, and MLA H. Dingo, S. Ranjan, Paunam Brojain, officials from other departments were some of the event's attendees. Beneficiaries were made availed of the benefits from the various schemes provided by the government, including wheelchairs and widow pension schemes. Speaking on the occasion, N. Biren said that Go to Village, Go to Hills were introduced to bring about equal development both in the hills and valleys of the state. He further appealed the people to support the party in the upcoming election so as to bring about development and upliftment in the state.
Adugumba masagi oijana khanbada Miyam Prajagi, Kaur Badugumba politician, Adugumba political leader Karana, Nungsi Sanana Mahoro Nile Padugumba, Simi Medita Miani Marta, Tokai Tana Silamba, Tokai Tana Honakipa, Nungsina never yat Kibadumba Porum Kayado, Urak Padagi, Lisang Sina, Sai Kuntrani Fu, Kanuk. Group amakagi sasan na lakpada Manipur Pradamiyang awabru ubada khangma ngamdadana karamai tawdana Manipur gi sing amari tamani gi maragda thong manana saukhatpa madi nungsinaba porakadage haiba wakhalda khallaba matungda isona adudi sing the satsi. Let us go to the hills. Sing the leira praja sing ising sanabu nama song nama honabada Magi Kundu the Gina Lok kilometer Manga, Mari, Ahum, Kummerga.
On the other hand, Education Minister Surokhaibam Rajen said that the 62 stalls were opened to make the people aware of the various schemes taken up by the government for the people. He further appealed the people to support the party in the upcoming election for more development in the future.
Government national akwadagi, go to village, go to hills, Miyam Unit, Amazon, Cabinet Mifam, Icona sing the Salakanda, sing the district, sing the Salakanda, Icona, Cabinet Mifam Famaga, sing the Awapa, district to the Awapa Mayamama, Karikari Wali, Prasadi Apama Karina Havana Singa, district, administrative officer Singalena, sing the Singa, Icoi, Function Tominaba Amazon. Cabinet Pamakanda district to the Awada Pau, Yanga, Single upon Matamdagi Ningasi, Sahitra Mahagi Congress, Hassan Matamda, Manipur, Sing Tamanigi Marakta, I call Nunsinava Leramdava, Sing Tamdi Marakta, Kenaba Wakala Lerambaduna, I call पालम सरकार अदुना सब मानव मियें येंगम अमंगदबदगी चिंगी प्रजा खरना अखोय मणिपुर दा तिनिंद्रे अखोय
In remembrance of the tribal freedom fighters and as part of Janjatiya Gaurav Divas, a state-level painting and photo exhibition was organized at Chingmairong Tribal Research Institute. Speaking on the occasion, TA and Hills Minister Vungzagin Volte said that the former government did not give much importance to the tribal freedom fighters, but the present Modi-led BJP government gives importance to the deceased tribal freedom fighters by organizing November 15 as Janjatiya Gaurav Divas as a mark of respect for them. He further appreciated the government for taking up such initiative for the tribal community.
Fair price of rationing agents card and others which need not to go to the fair price of. As per the scheme in Madhya Pradesh, the Prime Minister has to declare these tribal people, they should be given every villages of their rations which is supposed to get. And Eglivius Shekul for the tribal areas, he has to launch today, lay the foundation of 50 Eglivius. And at the same time, he has to give out appointment order of vulnerable tribal group teachers. This also be given out by the Prime Minister.
Condoling Abir Tripathi, son of Colonel Biplav Tripathi, commanding officer of the 46th Assam Rifle, who was killed by the PLA on the 13th November 2021 near Behyang Tea Village. While returning from Behyang, the St. Paul's Institute today declared a day of mourning and closed the school in condolence. Abir Tripathi was reading in class 2B at the St. Paul's Institute and accordingly situated at New Lamka, Churachandpur. In a condolence message, the St. Paul's Institute said the institute is sad to learn about the news about the death of this beautiful soul. It said that the Almighty might bless the departed soul and give courage and comfort to their loved ones to bear the irreplaceable loss. Innovator of India, KSH Nicholson Singh, in a press meet expressed his strong condemnation on the frequent disconnection of power supply by the MSPDCL for a year and a half. He continued that the acute power shortage disrupted his line of work as he is an innovator. He further demanded MSPDCL to give a valid reason for the frequent disconnection of power supply.
Mari lainana aidi atugi siende nataga sile habi maramda sahi ama makai consumer amagi mai kakhalibra kari maramne ki kai baino hamubugi su khana chena bugi wakal da khal khaktang lai sumba responsibility yaw daba department nataga magi connected oiriba kaino sing asigi manung dagi kanagumba mi ama khak tholaga wari sana si habi phauda tumina laisani praja ikone la khatang laigada bugi oiragadi ai tangpungi matungdagidi maram saba matik saba sarkar amadi MSPDCL gi mathakta ain oigera oiroira ai tasengna proud.
All Manipur Waikhom Apokpalup Thaubal warmly felicitated the Civil Service Exam 2020 180th rank holder Waikhom Naidia at Waikhom Apokpa Shanghai Thaubal. W. Tomba Piba, Tourism Department Director W. Ibohal, W. Naidia's father W. Ibotombi and her mother Waikhom Ongbi Radhamani and All Manipur Waikhom Apokpalup Secretary W. Bapushore were some of the attendees of the felicitation event. Chief Minister and Birain's Chief Minister Health for All scheme organized at Health and Wellness Center, Langmaidong, Kakching District. The benefits of the scheme will be made availed first to the Kairak and Langmaidong villages of Kakching District. Hyanglam AC MLA Dr. Y. Radesham, State Mission Director NHM Manipur, Dr. N. Shamjai, CMO Kakching, TH Rajain, Langmaidong GP Pradhan Y. Bedapati and Kairak GP Upa Pradhan Ratan were the main guests of the event. Speaking on the occasion, Y. Radesham talked on the various schemes taken up by the Chief Minister of the state and Birain, despite the numerous central schemes. He continued that Health for All scheme was introduced to provide health benefits to the people. He further said that ASHA workers, medical staffs as well as local PRI members have a huge role in availing the benefits of the scheme to the people. On the other hand, State Mission Director NHM Manipur Dr. N. Shamjai said that the center that was organized in the Kakching district was the 8th phase of Chief Minister Health for All scheme in the state. He continued that the government is planning to open the health centers under the scheme in all the districts of the state by November. He further appealed the people to avail the benefits from the government's scheme. All Community Development Organization More Akodom organized oath-taking ceremony of the 2 years term office bearers at the conference hall of Akodom office More Hinumukong Lekai. The names of the office bearers for the year 2021 November to 2023 October included Thangjam Buddha as the President, Sarangthem Ibopishag and R.K. Lokendro as the Vice Presidents, Leifrakpam Kamal as the General Secretary, among others. A total of 24 bearers were selected, including 8 executive members and 8 advisory boards. The selected office bearers took the oath together. Now, before we move on, it's time for a short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
India gi ahanba National Awardee Government of India na piba Silver Dew. Makhal suna leijare half liter, 750 ml, 1 liter, 2 liter, 5 liter and 20 liter jar. As an distributor Amadi Akupamarol Loktak Industry, Industrial State, Takiel da contact to you.
Rohan Film, cyclist and philanthropist na Cycling for Humanity campaign gi makada kunai asigi sotharaba kanglop singbu tengbang duna lakli. Reading e-ride na paikhatchariba One Household, One E-Scooter campaign asidasu hena mapungfa na ba mating pangminas.
Manipur gumba pikraba state asidadi ekoina chachok chashin tawriba jaga singsi khudna lamba phumba jaga da ngaktoba. Maram aduna mayamgi damakta leijare environmental friendly oiriba adongi perfect partner E-Scooter. One Household, One E-Scooter. High-level campaign asida mayam khudimagsu sharuk yaminasi.
For more queries, please visit our showroom at Sangay Pronintem Call, Moirang Patlaw or Tobal Atokpam. And do visit our website arambay2020.com or arambay2020 app.
Welcome back. More news and updates. Hailakandi District Futsal Association HDFA organized 3 days under 25 men and women 5A side futsal tournament at NT Model High School Playground, Jaribon, Kalachera. Jimli Bora, District Sport Officer, Hailakandi District Futsal Association President T.H. Dhananjoy Singh, Jaribon Sports Association President C.H. Babaton Singha and Hailakandi District BJP Mandal Vice President H. Bibhas Singha were the main guests of the tournament opening ceremony. A total of 16 teams from the different locations of Karimganj district took part in the tournament. The Khongjom Rural Development Volunteers Association organized Ningo Chakoba for the widows at Khongjom Ward number 6. As part of the festivity, a feast was organized as well as gifts were handed over to the widows. A day after the attack on an Assam Rifles convoy in which 7 people, including a commanding officer, his wife and son died, police and security force personnel recovered a total of 20 rounds of M79 grenades in Manipur. The operation was carried out jointly by the Fundray Battalion of Assam Rifles and Manipur Police. The joint force recovered the grenades after busting a wall-like store in the Kakching district close to the Indo-Myanmar border. The grenades, locally known as Lathod bombs, were found lying near a roadside at Yangbi Primary School under Hyanglam Police Station in Kakching district. The grenades were hidden in a jute bag. According to reports, the grenades were recovered on Saturday at around 6 p.m. Reports quoted police sources as saying that the grenades were safely disposed of by a team of bomb disposal squad of Manipur Police. The bomb squad disposed of the grenades on Sunday at around 8:05 a.m. at Buffalo Farm, Wabagai. An Assam Rifles commanding officer along with his wife and son and 3 other Jawans were killed when their convoy was ambushed by militants in Manipur's Churachandpur district on Friday. The incident took place around 10 a.m. near Saikan village in the Singat subdivision. Colonel Biplav Tripathi, his wife and son died and 3 Assam Rifles Jawans died on the spot, while at least 6 Assam Rifles personnel were injured in the attack. 143 Battalion CRPF distributed water storage tanks to the villagers of Nungdarondai and Noni district. The distribution was made under the Civic Action Program. The distribution was made by Battalion CRPF Lamkokam Logjim. Unknown miscreants plant IED bomb at an area in Kongman zone under the jurisdiction of Irilbung police station. It is reported that the bomb was placed in the wee hours of the morning. The bomb was later disposed by Manipur Police Bomb Disposal Squad. The police probed investigation regarding the matter. Manipur Sahitya Parishad Bishnupur District Branch, Manipur, organized District Branch's 67th and 68th book release program at Ningthokong Public Bazaar Park. Bishnupur AC ex-MLA Govindas Konthaujam, Manipur Sahitya Parishad District Branch President Khangimbam Ibeton Devi, Imakul Awang Potsangbam President and Dalit Sahitya Academy New Delhi President, National Awardee Dr. R.K. Gunachandra were the main guests of the event. National Awardee Laishram Ramji's Manglam Chatki Puyawari 4 and 68 Indian Navy Lieutenant Commander Joy Kumar Sarangthame's Dholak Kumbha Punchi were the 2 books released during the program. Speaking on the occasion, Govindas Konthaujam talked on the importance of good books in bringing about a positive change in the society. As part of Go to Village 2.0, a program was organized at Ecotourism Park, Salam Thongkong, Imphal West District. The Chief Minister of Manipur, Nongthombam Birain, and other prominent ministers and MLAs took part in the event. A total of 62 departmental stores were opened under the guidance of the Chief Minister himself. Now, before we move on, it's time for a short break once again. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Tamo, kaya lo sandribo. As karanga na sasiya na harago.
Kaya noy sibo, kaya siya pinay sibo.
Hima, COVID ki vaccine kap thok se na ngana du phas na hai ni dudi.
Ay haksang ka sutog de. Ay kapoy. Nate, haksang ka sutog do ba inguni da kapa kay kada no. Ay kapoy hasin.
Tamo, narak dringai dana isana hana sexual ho na phatro. Kap thok pun na phatabra ba.
Hoyare, section mana dum kapuro. Ay kapoy.
As khangdre da. Kamai ngana do na khangdre. Phare, adu de chalu khige. Pungo, mama inda kapuge ko, papa ngale ramo.
COVID-19 laisat asigi ngak thong bagi damak COVID ki vaccine kapana laisat asig mari lena ba laina laisat singdagi ngak thok sabangami masida natana laisat asina sanghandana bagi damak matam gi sarkarna pirakpa sana kakmon sing aikhoi ngakna satminarasi Cowin apps ta register to biduna adom su suksoi soidana vaccine asi kap thokpi COVID ki vaccine kap thokpuna COVID laitaba iram damu heminarasi
aikhoi vaccine kap le se aikhoi vaccine kap le se aikhoi vaccine kap le se hon ki punchi sau khat thong thang hanjil le si jati ni jati khai den corona lanjang thekne re se aikhoi vaccine kap le se corona de ngam le si punchi sau khat mai kai da
Asing mune, aikhoi pun vaccine kap thokuna corona de ngak thokuna hani ki punsi bo hanjano hona bada adon sorok yabi.
Welcome back. More news and updates. The construction work undertaken at Mantripukri Secretariat is not satisfiable, said Chief Minister of Manipur, Nongthombam Birain, during his inspection. Speaking to media persons, he continued that the COVID pandemic had put a halt to the construction work. He added that he had notified the concerned authority to expedite the construction activities with more manpower, as the government had already planned to inaugurate the said structure during the early part of 2022. 44 Assam Rifles under the aegis of 22 Sector IGAR East has been regularly administering COVID vaccination to civilians at its headquarters in Tamenglong to demonstrate its resolve towards fight against COVID-19. The battalion conducted 80th such civil COVID vaccination session at its battalion headquarters Tamenglong on November 15. Till date, the unit has already vaccinated 4,414 beneficiaries in total 79 COVID vaccination sessions. The unit also reached out to local public through mobile vaccination, medical camps and telemedicine. It may be mentioned that on November 14, an 8-year-old girl, Rapamliu Panmay, daughter of Athaimay Panmay of village Azuiram, was superficially burnt in the left foot due to spilling of boiling water. The terrified parents contacted the company commander, Azuiram Post, through telemedicine helpline number for help. Immediately, medical team of the unit sprung into action and took care of the little child. The girl is presently recovering well. Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee Manipur STDCM in collaboration with SYPO Club staged a sit-in protest at Sagolban Mabudhau Mantri Laikai. The sit-in protest was staged to demand the inclusion of the Meitei community in the ST list. Speaking on the issue, SYPO Club ex-president Ningthemani Oinam talked on the needs for the inclusion of the Meitei community in the ST list to safeguard the indigenous Meitei community. He demanded the state government to put forth the recommendation letter to the central government. He further appealed the people to support the organization in the demands that they put forth to the state government. Slogans like "No ST, No Vote" were raised during the protest.
Man Committee Manipur amasung Saipo Club anina punna sinjaduna wakat mifam ama phamjabani phamjariba wakat mifamasi gi maramdi Manipur da lairiba Meitei Miteibu Scheduled Tribe list yahun biduna aikoi isagi indigenous people amani haibado mado constitution gi protection adu phangnana bidama aikoi mafam masida phamjabani maram masina hairiba Scheduled Tribe list chanana bigi India government thabiragliba recommendation adu Manipur government masak khangbiduna Meitei Miteibu indigenous people amani haiduna bithibina masak khangnana bigidama adugumba recommendation adu government of Manipur na athuba matamda thabiduna aikoibu Scheduled Tribe list yahun bina bigidamakta ngasigi mifam ase phamjabani.
Intending BJP candidate of Kaishamthong Assembly constituency, Nishikant Sapam, stated that the Bharatiya Janata Party would surely win over 40 seats in the upcoming State Assembly election 2022. Speaking to media persons on the sideline of opening 9 Team Nishikant election offices at Haubamarak Ngangum Laikai and Kaishamthong Ahanthem Laikai, Nishikant stated that all the popular candidates are with the BJP and added that the party would surely give its tickets to winnable candidates who are approved by the people. He said those who are surveying Kaishamthong constituency are quite aware who is in a better position and does more work, and maintained that the team Nishikant has opened over 90 polling camps with the blessing of the people. Nishikant further said that opening such a number of election offices would never be possible without the support of the people. Nishikant also added that Team Nishikant is committed to bring about a positive change in Kaishamthong Assembly constituency and continued that he would treat everyone equally after Team Nishikant emerged victorious, and said that he would work with complete transparency and accountability to transform Kaishamthong Assembly constituency and Manipur at large in a positive way. India's COVID tally rose to 3,44,47,536, with 10,229 more people testing positive for coronavirus, while the active cases have declined to 1,34,096, the lowest in 523 days, according to the Union Health Ministry's data today. The death count reached 4,63,655 after 125 new fatalities were reported. The data updated at 8 a.m. showed The daily rise in new coronavirus infections has been below 20,000 for 38 days straight, and less than 50,000 daily new cases have been reported for 141 consecutive days now. The national COVID-19 recovery rate was recorded at 98.26%, the highest since March 2020, the Health Ministry said. Meanwhile, Mizoram registered 15.90% COVID-19 positivity rate on Monday after 171 new cases were detected from 1,076 sample tests in the last 24 hours, a health department official said. However, the single-day recovery surpassed the fresh cases as 395 people have recovered in the last 24 hours. Two more persons, aged 85 and 72 from Mysore and Sarchip districts have succumbed to the infection, taking the death toll to 462. The number of active cases now stands at 5,424, which is 4.21% of the total cases, 1,28,775. So far, 1,22,889 people have recovered from the infection, and the recovery rate is 95.42%. which is 2.84% less than the national average of 98.26%. The state's COVID-19 fatality rate is 0.35% against the national average of 1.35%. Mizoram has so far conducted tests on 13.73 lakh samples for COVID-19 and 1,076 samples were tested on Sunday. As regard to vaccination, the state has vaccinated about 90.30% of the targeted or eligible beneficiaries, officials said. The Indian Women's Press Corps has demanded the release of the two journalists who have been detained by Assam police at the request of Tripura police. The Indian Women's Press Corps in a statement said it stands in solidarity with Samriddhi K. Sakunya and Swana Jha, the two women journalists who have been harassed, intimidated and detained for doing their job. The IWPC demands that the police immediately release them and allow them to do their job without fear, the organization stated. Sakunya and Jha, who work with HW News Network, were on assignment in Tripura to cover the recent incidents of violence when an FIR was registered against them for allegedly maligning the image of Tripura government. And then there were reports that they were not allowed to leave the hotel and on the request of the Tripura police were later detained in Assam, the statement said. Journalists perform a public service that is critical to the well-being of any democracy, the organization asserted, adding, they gather and disseminate facts. The image of a government is not the journalist's concern. Facts and the truth are their concern. The organization said they understand that the two women journalists, Sakuni and Jha, are to be taken back to Tripura for questioning. Demanding their release, the statement issued by Vinita Pandey, President, and Suparna Sharma, General Secretary of Indian Women's Press Corps, said they demand that they be released immediately and be allowed to do their job. Now, before we wind up for the day, let's have a quick look at the headlines once again. Go to village is not for the BJP government, but the policy for the people, says N. Biren. Janjatiya Gaurav Divas observed today as a mark of respect for the tribal freedom fighters. And India reported 10,229 new coronavirus infections, 125 fresh fatalities in the last 24 hours. Now that's all for the 6 p.m. Primetime English News Bulletin. Thank you for tuning in and have a good night.